We are here with Starr Marsett, who is running for school board seat G. Thank you for joining us, Starr.
Thank you for having me.
So if we can first start off with your background for people that aren't familiar.
Well, I have lived in Alaska for over 30 years. I keep saying that, so it keeps growing. But so for over 30 years, my husband's retired Air Force. We've been married 38 years. I have 3 children, one who graduated from North Pole High School, one from Hutchinson Career Center in Fairbanks, and I have one attending East High School now.
So why the interest in the school board?
You know, we adopted our special needs grandson, and he was going to a school that was for children with behavior issues, which I wasn't familiar with. So I quit my full-time job and started substitute teaching. Well, I not only substitute taught in his school, but I also taught in other schools. And I saw that there was really, our teachers and our students were struggling, and I felt like there was a disconnect between ASD and the classrooms. And so that's when I first got started and started getting involved with various committees with ASD. Currently, I serve on the Capital Improvement Advisory Committee, which is actually responsible for putting the bond together every year and presenting it to the school board for their approval. And then we also do the 6-year capital improvement plan. I also serve on SEAC, which is the Special Education Advisory Committee. I serve on MECAC, which is the Multicultural Education Concerns Advisory Committee. And right now I'm on the calendar committee helping the district put out their next 5-year calendar. And that's just the 4 that I'm on now. I've been on various ad hoc committees, volunteered my time. I've been PTA president. I was even the most valuable football parent one year at North Pole. So I've been very involved, probably since my children were in school, but even more so since I've been running for school board.
And I'm sure being a part of the advisory, all these organizations, you've probably seen, ASD struggling with a budget deficit these past couple years. What are your thoughts on what's going on currently?
Well, and I'll just tell you from experience being on the Capital Improvement Committee, we're not going to be building new schools. I mean, it's just not feasible. We need to take the schools we have. And if you look at the bond, we're looking at roofs, we're looking at classrooms, we're looking at floors, we're looking at walls, those type of things. So we've been very conservative in putting forth that bond. As far as the budget goes, I think, this year with the extra money or from reserve or the teacher positions that the school district has managed to bring together, it looks pretty good. My fear is 16, 17. We really don't know what the budget cuts are going to be. It could be 30, 50 million. I mean, we really don't know. And so we really need somebody on the school board that understands what's going on and be able to make those tough choices when we have to.
Do you think that's one of the biggest challenges that the Anchorage School District is facing, having to deal with this issue year after year instead of focusing on education?
Right. Yes, I would say it's number 1. Number 2, I would say the disconnect in the classroom, trying to keep our classrooms small, and of course that comes down to the budget and that sort of thing. But I think what's going on in the classroom too, the fact that teachers are collecting so much more data than they used to, that we're testing our students so much more than we used to, and is it really a good use and is it effective what we're doing? We need to take a look at those things.
So we need to prioritize.
Yes.
Shift. Are we heading in the wrong direction, would you say?
No, I don't think we're heading in the wrong direction. I think we just need to take a look at things and see, do they really make sense? Are they producing what we want it to produce? Are we doubling our efforts? Just try to take a closer look at what we're doing, because I think the teachers are facing, there's less time to teach the student. And so we need to focus on that and start giving more time to the student and maybe less time to some of this testing and some of these other things. So it's just a matter of evaluating.
Why would you say, with your background, do you think that's why you're the better candidate?
Well, I think I'm the better candidate, not especially with my background, because when I walk on the school board, it's going to be with quite a bit of knowledge. I've met with Mark Foster. I've met with Mike Abbott. I've been in the schools when we do our capital improvement investment. When we put forth the bond, we're always going into the schools before we even recommend those bonds. So I've been in many schools every year. I talk to teachers all the time. I talk to retired teachers. just the fact that when I walk on the school board, my learning curve is not going to be that of someone else that hasn't been involved.
Great. All right. Are there any other particular issues that you would like to tackle if you are elected?
Boy, I'd like
There's a
to see,
lot.
I know there is, and and they just add up, and I've got them on my list, it's kind of that bucket list. But one of the things I'd like to see is language in all of our elementary schools. I'd like to see a language program in every elementary school.
As well. All
Yeah.
right. Those were all my questions. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Or
No, just thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate it, and go vote on April 7th.
All right. Thank you so much, Starr Marsett, running for school board CG.
Thank you.